Genetics can be a little bit of a lucky dip sometimes, but every now and then, this random DNA lottery can produce some truly spectacular people. Individuals blessed with skills and natural talents that defy understanding. Ready to meet the people who are 1 in a million? Let's get it on! Jyoti MG. They say that good things come in small packages. India's very own pint-sized Jyoti MG is proof that you can chase big dreams no matter your size. She held the record for the world's shortest living teen before taking the crown of the world's shortest living and mobile woman on her 18th birthday. So just how small do you have to be anyways to obtain the moniker of the world's smallest human? 2 feet and 3/4 inches to be exact. Up until the age of 5, Jyoti was average height for her age. After some time, however, her parents knew something wasn't quite right. She was diagnosed with a rare form of dwarfism called achondroplasia. In layman's terms, lacking the hormones needed to grow beyond a certain height. She hasn't let it hinder her dreams and aspirations of making it on the silver screen either. You might also recognize her from her breakout role on the hit TV show American Horror Story back in 2014, where she starred as the charming Ma Petite. Larry Gomez. If you've ever thought the full moon is driving you crazy, spare a thought for Larry Gomez, aka the Wolfman. Originally born in Mexico as Victor Gomez, Larry suffers from hypertrichosis, a rare condition that causes his body to grow hair on over 98% of his body, including his face, nose, and even eyelids. The 1 in a billion condition runs in the family, with 3 other family members and a brother also sporting werewolf-like locks. Growing up, the brothers worked in the circus, and it was there the previously named Victor changed his name to Larry, after the main character in the 1941 film The Wolfman. Larry would then move to the United States and, after a brief stint at the Venice Beach Freak Show, would enjoy success in several Hollywood productions. These days, Larry Gomez enjoys a much quieter life. He's been married, has a son of his own, and runs a successful jumping castle business, despite his brush with fame. Francisco Domingos Joaquim. If you've got a secret that you need to make sure never gets out, try not to tell Francisco Domingo Joaquim. The man nicknamed the Angolan Jawa is officially recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as having the world's widest mouth. Francisco was first noticed on the streets of the Angolan capital, Luanda, popping cans in and out of his mouth sideways to the amazement of passersby. Researchers looking on YouTube found videos of the then 20-year-old and, after 2 years of searching, finally tracked him down in Angola to officially measure Francisco's mouth. His 2010 record of a 6.69-inch wide unstretched mouth still stands today, and at the Big Mouth competition held in Rome, contestants to this day still can't match the Angolan Jawa. Hasbulla Mogomedov. Hasbulla Mogomedov for a while had the internet fooled. Anyone who couldn't speak Russian or didn't know the tiny fighter's backstory could be forgiven for thinking they were watching an angry child fronting up against a schoolyard enemy. It turns out Hasbulla is actually 18 years old and suffers from a form of dwarfism. It resulted in the adult blogger from Dagestan looking and sounding like a toddler with a tantrum. Hasbulla shot to viral fame when recreating the infamous Khabib Nurmagomedov weigh-in against Conor McGregor with fellow dwarf Abdurazik from Tajikistan, earning him the nickname Mini Khabib. Hasbulla and Abdu have been teasing an MMA showdown for a while now, a move that has been condemned by the Sports Association of Little People of Russia for being unethical. Whether it happens or not, we'll just have to wait and see. Steven Ludwig. Steven Ludwig has always had to struggle. The young boy from Chapel Hill in North Carolina was born with an extremely rare bone disorder called Maffucci syndrome, a disease characterized by abnormal bone and cartilage growth in the body. It's so rare, in fact, that Steven is one of only 150 known sufferers of the condition worldwide. Throughout his childhood, Ludwig's had to endure more than 30 surgeries to repair broken bones, transplant bone marrow, and remove painful spurs. That's on top of years of having to wear excruciating leg lengthening braces and fighting leukemia at the same time. Steven credits his killer survival instinct on his hero, the late Kobe Bryant, who he got to meet in 2007 at the NBA All-Stars. His condition means that Steven's left leg and left arm are significantly shorter than the other, a disability that not only hasn't slowed him down in the slightest, but has gifted him some pretty awesome kicks as well. Renson Korlu Bud. Mongolian-born Rensenkorlu Bud, or Ren as her friends call her, came from a super tall family. Her father measured in at 6'10", her mother 6'1", and as a child, Ren was already the same height as her first grade teacher. That's 5'6" as a 6-year-old. The now 29-year-old finally stopped growing at an intimidating 6'9" and has since swapped her homeland for the tall skyscrapers of Chicago, a place she definitely feels more at home. Ren officially owns the world's second longest legs, measuring 52.18 inches from hip to heel. This jaw-dropping height, however, does come with its own unique problems. Everything from needing extra legroom in the car to finding a pair of shoes that will fit her size US 13 feet, all the way to having to duck to avoid doorways and ceiling fans on the daily. Chef Boy Bones. When Chef Boy Bones appeared on America's Got Talent, the world wasn't quite ready for such an eye-popping performance. Chef's routine started off innocently enough, a slow-paced, old-school rap hook and some savvy crowd work. But then, Chef approached the judge's desk with his eyeballs extending out of their sockets.
My question is, what the hell?
No one cared that his lyrics were average at best. Sofia Vergara instantly noped out, but the rest of the panel wanted to see more. Ultimately, the eye-catching performer didn't make it to the AGT quarterfinals. But it hasn't stopped Chef from capitalizing on his talent. Since his appearance, Bones has appeared in several commercials, music video clips, and TikToks, with his intense eyes firmly set on the limelight. Yu Jiangxia. Girls all around the world are envious of this next one in a million. Yu Jiangxia from Shanghai in China is the official Guinness World Record holder for the longest eyelashes. She claimed the title back in 2016 when her eyelashes from her left upper eyelid measured in at 4.8 inches. Since then, however, Yu's eyelashes have continued to grow, and at last count, her longest lash is now over 8 inches long. Doctors and scientists haven't been able to find a reason why Yu's luscious lashes keep growing. There are no genetic markers or disease, and Yu is the only one in her family with the condition. Despite all this, Yu's embraced her quirky look, braiding her eyelashes and pulling them back in a style that she says replaces eyeliner and eyeshadow. Ayanna Williams. Have you ever had an itch that's difficult to scratch? It's a problem that Ayanna Williams, until very recently, has never had. For over 28 years, Ayanna was growing her fingernails, last cutting them in the early 90s before they reached their record size of 18 feet in 2018. While they aren't the longest nails ever to be grown for several years, Ayanna was the reigning champ with the longest nails still on a female hand. The Texan local would spend days carefully painting and manicuring her long nails, going through 3 to 4 bottles per session. But the longer they got, the harder it became for Ayanna to perform even the simplest of tasks, like washing the dishes and making the bed. For this reason, Ayanna recently had her nails finally clipped, donating them to Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Florida, where her record will be preserved forever. Etibar Elshiev. What makes a man attractive? Ask Georgian superhero Etibar Elshiev, who seems to have somewhat of a magnetic personality. The ex-kickboxing coach turned real-life Magneto discovered very early on in life that he had the bizarre ability to both attract and hold metal objects on his body. Elshiev made his special abilities known to the world in 2011 by holding 50 spoons against his body. Not to be outdone by himself, Etibar tried again 2 years later, adding 3 more spoons to his previous attempt and earning a Guinness World Record in the process. The sky's the limit for this Georgian, with ambitions of one day moving an aeroplane or an empty train carriage. Until then, let's just hope he washes all those spoons before putting them away.